So the application we're building today is a digital clock. I've already got a new project started and you can see our stock standard Hello World. Before we start any application, we bring down our squiggly brackets so we know what is contained inside of the content view. It just makes it easier to read when you've got the start and finish lined up. I'll do the same for body. So our content view contains the body, and I know this because firstly it's inside the squiggly brackets and it's indented, which really helps the readability of your code. Text Hello World, so our text view, which displays text on the screen, is inside the body. The body is what we will see on the user interface of our application. And text Hello World is what we start with on every app. Now, to do a digital clock is really quite simple. We start with a variable at state var current time, which is going to equal a date object. A date object has a lot of different properties and a lot of different methods. So its functionality extends far beyond simply containing the current date and time based on the system clock. In this application though, we're just going to grab out the time and display on the screen. There's something inbuilt into a text view, which we can use, and it's called a text style. So we can put the current time in and make the style a time. Now obviously we can use the date, even play a timer, but we're just going to take the current time. And there it goes there. Now that works great, except it's very, very basic and we can't customize it in any way, shape or form. So if you want a quick and easy one, job done. But if you'd like to customize your clock to make it more aesthetically pleasing, we need to break down the current time into its components. Now I've got a series of extensions which I've imported from a previous project, and I've extended the object date so I can display the hour, minute and second. You'll need these extensions to follow along in this project. So I'll just remove the text current time and replace it with text current time dot. And I've got hour as a part of my extensions. You can see the hour can either be a number or as text, and I'll put dot text. Text current time dot minute dot text. Now you'll see that I've actually got two simulators running at the moment, and that's because I haven't indicated how I would like these two views, these two text views, to be arranged on the screen. So Swift is now creating a second simulator because it assumes it must be two different apps and not relate to each other. So let's chuck in a V stack. And V is for vertical, and stack means I'm layering them on top of each other. So I'll cut that out. And again, you can see the closing and opening brackets lining up. And I paste in my text, and then now on top of each other. One simulator, two views on top of each other. Text current time dot second dot, and again I'll take the text. And that's now the current time in a vertical format. If I like that horizontally, HStack, you can see the spacing is automatically placed in a default spacing. And I can customize these how I wish. So I might just throw the bit of a formatting on this. So we'll just change this back to a VStack. Dot font dot system, and I'll customize all three properties. So I'll make the size 40. The weight is a font weight, which will be just shortened to dot heavy, and the design dot, and I'll take monospaced, so all these numbers line up on top of each other regardless of the size of the font. So the number 1 will be as wide as the number 0. And finally, I'll do some alignment. And I'll do trailing, so the 9 goes onto the right, and I've got 9:45 and 30 seconds. So you got two options here with the properties. You can either place it on the VStack, which assigns that property to each of the text views inside of it, or you can modify just one at a time. Dot foreground color, again, give me blue as my option, and I'll change to red, and I'm good to go. So it's quite easy to create a digital clock in any format that you want now with any stylings. However, when we play the simulator, it'll update to the current time as of right now, but it won't consistently update. To do that, dot on appear. So when this app opens and first appears on the screen, it's going to run this code inside of here. And I'm going to run a timer, and that timer is going to be a scheduled timer with a time interval that repeats if I so desire it. And we're going to have a time interval of 1. Repeating is a bool, which is true or false. I'll say yes, I would like it to repeat. And this is the code that will run when the timer updates every 1 second. So it's going to run this code every 1 second, repeating. I'm just going to hit enter. So it places the appropriate closure. Again, bring my little squiggly brackets down. And it has a variable, a timer variable. So timer in is what I'm going to use. I'm going to call the timer, but a lowercase t because it is a variable name now. And inside the timer, current time will equal the system time again, every 1 second updating it. And you can see it's already clocking over, every second updating the time. So that's it for this video. You can quite comfortably do whatever you like with stylings now and arrange your stacks and fonts how you see fit based on the design that you've created.